Hey guys, it's NintendoBlackCrisis, and we need to talk. At first I wasn't sure if I wanted to make this a video since it's something that has already been talked about by other Zelda YouTubers, but after thinking about it for a couple weeks, there's a lot of stuff I want to get off my mind regarding this channel and its content. As of writing this, it's almost been 5 years since my first Breath of the Wild theory. In many ways, that video's success is what made this channel what it is today. I changed my focus from generic Let's Plays to scripted content, most of it being Breath of the Wild theories. In that time, I've made well over 50 theories on that game and its sequel, with many other videos, whether it be analysis-type content or experimental videos. Throughout the past 5 years, I've both met and got to work with a lot of incredible people in this community, and it's crazy to see how much bigger the Zelda community has become due to Breath of the Wild. I speak for a lot of content creators when I say that Breath of the Wild is the reason we're where we are today. So you can imagine my excitement when the sequel to Breath of the Wild was announced. No joke, my graduation day for college was the same day and time of Nintendo's E3 2019 Direct. I was lucky enough to catch the end of it when the sequel's trailer played. Let's just say that was an interesting car ride home, especially since I was screaming sequel over and over like a madman. It took over 2 years of waiting, but we finally did get another trailer last year. However, ever since then, Nintendo has kept silent on any other details regarding the game, and we still don't even know the release date or official title. Throughout this gap, I've continued to make content on the series, whether it be more Breath of the Wild theories or topics surrounding other Zelda games such as the Ancient Cistern or Origins of Bellum. But something you may have noticed for the past year or so is the lack of uploads. I only posted 23 videos in 2021, 18 of them being quote-unquote properly scripted content. The rest was just highlights of streams or joke videos. I wouldn't say that I'm disappointed with the quality of videos I released last year. Most of the stuff I uploaded are things I genuinely enjoyed working on and I'm proud of. The thing I'm most disappointed with myself on is the quantity of videos. Yes, I could sit here and say something like quality content takes time to make, but to be honest, I could have been a lot more productive with my time. I think my sparse upload schedule has to do with a lot of factors, one being laziness. There are days that I'll wake up and instead of working on the next video, I decide to play games for most of the day. This is the part of me that I hate most because it's something that I did all the time before my channel started to gain momentum. Making videos was a way for me to do something other than gaming 24/7, and when I see myself going back to that habit, it kind of scares me. Another factor in my upload schedule is a lack of both motivation and video ideas. I'm sure you've noticed that the majority of my uploads are theory related. That's because theories are the thing that I enjoy working on the most. I rarely make other Zelda content unless it's something like an episode of my unused content series or a one-off video. For example, the Scams in Zelda one. And this is a pretty big reason as to why it's become increasingly difficult to make new theory videos. At this point, pretty much everything in Breath of the Wild has been talked about. The same thing goes for other Zelda games since they've been around for even longer. Whenever I make a theory, I always look for a topic that hasn't yet been covered because I don't want people to think that I'm quote-unquote stealing other people's work. Plus, some topics such as the Shadow Temple have already been discussed by so many people, and sometimes these videos are so thorough with the research that if I were to put out my own version, it would simply feel inferior. I think another reason as to why I don't upload as much is because recently I've had self-esteem issues. I often compare my content to other people's and start to feel like mine could have been a whole lot better. There are some seriously talented people in this community, and for me, that sort of sets the standard higher when it comes to videos. But this is a very unhealthy mindset to have, since it almost always leads you to think that your videos are worse, even though it's not the case. Now, obviously, this isn't the case for all of my content. Part 2 of my Zonai series continues to be one of the highlights of the channel, and that was a video posted during the quote-unquote content drought last year. But this obsession with trying to upload content worthy of being watched on YouTube has severely affected my productivity long-term. I used to write scripts for videos within 24 hours, now it can take me up to 20 minutes to form a single sentence. Paragraphs can sometimes take an hour to write. I'm constantly deleting what I write over and over again because I'm worried about it not being good enough or sounding redundant. It doesn't really help that English was my worst subject in high school, and while my writing skills have greatly improved since then, it's something that I continue to struggle with. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes I'm more concerned over how well a video performs than I probably should be. It sucks when you put a ton of effort into one video only for it to underperform. Meanwhile, another video which took way less effort to make ends up getting more views. I will say that while the performance of a video does affect what topics I cover, these topics are always things I genuinely like talking about. Centering your whole channel around a specific topic or show is a great way to build up a following on YouTube, but it also makes you feel as if you're restricted to those games. And that's simply because the majority of subscribers who watch your content watch it because it's those topics in particular that they're interested in. And it's because of this that a lot of Zelda content creators, including myself, have spoken out about wanting to branch off into other content, but are also afraid of this change since they don't want to alienate their current fanbase. I briefly went over my struggles in making videos these past couple years, things such as laziness, lack of motivation, and video performance, but at the end of the day, this all most likely stems from the fact that interest in Zelda is at an all-time low. And when you think about it, a big part of it isn't even the views or algorithm issue. Even if views are lower compared to past years, the biggest problem we face right now is having nothing Zelda-related to talk about. As I said before, I love making theories, and unfortunately that's something I just can't do as of this moment. All the topics I can think of have either already been covered or are heavily based on speculation. Going forward, I want to try and do a bit more experimental content, while also doing the occasional Zelda video. At least until we hear more of Breath of the Wild 2. The good thing about my channel is that I've done plenty of experimental videos in the past, and a lot of them have actually done well. Often it's a high-risk, high-reward sort of thing, but if you look at a list of my most popular videos, some of them have nothing to do with Zelda. In fact, as of right now, my most popular video on the channel is a Genshin Impact one. I'm hoping that by doing this, it can help me get back into that productive feeling on the channel. I really want to go back to a weekly schedule, but it also needs to be content that I'm proud of. Even one video every 2 weeks would be an improvement to my current schedule. There is also the possibility of turning this channel into something that only uploads once every couple months, with the payoff being higher productive videos such as my Zonai series. As of now, I'm interested in doing some analysis and lore videos on Horizon Forbidden West. There are some topics I want to delve into, as well as a couple theories. Same goes with Genshin Impact, and of course it would be nice to make the occasional Mario Kart video. Elden Ring is quite popular right now, but I haven't played much of that game yet. Apparently that game is filled with lore, so it could become a part of the channel, but I won't know until I play more of it. I said this at the beginning of the video, but this is something that has been addressed by others within the Zelda community who also have expressed a desire to create content outside of Zelda. I want to remind people that just because these content creators post other videos, it doesn't mean that they've given up on Zelda. Most of us want to talk about Zelda. It's not that we're no longer interested in it, there's simply nothing to talk about as of now. Now, if any of you have Zelda-related topics you want me to cover on the channel, then feel free to post them in the comments below. I also want to thank you all for the support, as I do appreciate it. I've been NintendoBlackCrisis, and I'll see you all next time.